Hello and welcome to the Insta Runners Roundup podcast. My name is Bob Burrow, better known to some as the Kilsyth Runner. The idea of this podcast was born, like so many things, during a long run chat back in November. Jace had an idea for a podcast to round up the achievements of the running community that we all love so much. He also had an idea to get someone else to organise it. After a few format tweets and a few rescues from the podcast bin in the sky, I have been tasked with chairing a roundtable podcast to keep everyone on topic and under control. No easy job, I'm sure you'll agree. Joining me on this week's episode is a very excited and thankfully not so sleepy today, Jason Wood, the Edinburgh runner. We've got A.B. McCracken, who thankfully isn't sitting in his dirty pyjamas today. Get Mike running beyond the limits of pole dancing, and everyone's favourite man in the dark, James Gow, Jimmy. Everyone, welcome to the roundup.
Hi guys.
Hello.
You all right, everybody?
All good. So on this episode, we are aiming to cover the Highland Fling. We'll touch on the Newhaven Lighthouse 10K, which I keep calling the Newhouse Lighthouse 10K. We've got the Newcastle Half Marathon. We have got Belfast Full Marathon. I know people hate people saying full and half, but it is what it is. The Scottish 5K Champs. We have got a bit of park run tourism, and we have the Press Play and Run Edinburgh meetup. So, if we like to start at the Fling, Mike and Jimmy, for those of us like myself who aren't clued up on the ultra scene, what the hell is a Highland Fling? I guess it's not the kind of Highland Fling Jason has.
No, it's not Jason's usual weekend. Do you want to go, Jimmy?
Aye. The Highland Fling is basically a 53-mile race. Starts at Mulgai, finishes at Tyndrum. It takes in the first 53 miles of the West Highland Way along the full route. What do you say about it? It was unbelievable, I would say. I didn't know. Can chip in. For me, it was probably the best ultra I've done so far in terms of just organisation. The thing that stood out for me was like the sheer amount of people. Like, the amount of folk on the route was just like nothing I've ever seen before. It was just ludicrous.
Do you know how many done it?
Oh, so in total there was
700.
700.
It's usually 1,000, but they capped it at 750 for this one. I think they're trying to reduce the numbers because they didn't hold it last year either. But they're trying to stop kind of wear and tear on the route. Obviously, it's a very popular hiking route, one of the most populars in Scotland. So I'm trying to cut down damage. But yeah, still 700 odd people.
How did you find the course?
I think the course was great. I think it's one of the best courses I think I've had. I was dubious going in. I think myself and Jimmy spoke just about how some of the things came down from the organisers in emails and various groups. You know, there was no support crews, no food en route. There weren't really any closed roads, so why are we paying £100? But on the day, we couldn't really complain. Like the route was amazing, conditions were amazing.
I think at the start, like you said, we kind of scoffed because we're like £100. Usually for £100, you'd go to an aid station, fill your boots with food and whatever you want. Whereas this was not. You provided your own food, so you're like another, depending what you have, another 50 quid into your own pocket for your own food to send a bit. So we were a bit dubious, but like the race is something else. Sorry?
Did you have people on the course then to give you food and?
Actually, there's a drop bags on the route, so you get
drop bags. Sorry.
4 drop
The only
bags.
issue with that though is you could obviously put food in there, but if you're putting ham rolls in there that were sitting out in the sun for however many hours, they weren't good by the time we got there.
So you kind of got your own drop bags, and they were at 19 miles. I've got this 19 miles, 27 miles, 34 miles, then 40 miles. And you could pick whatever you had in your bag. Whatever you didn't want to carry, you left for what they call like a scavenger table, which was just
All right.
an actual
Not that on the blades.
apart from sandwiches and that, was everything gels and like sashes of tailwind everywhere. There was this
Lots of ham sandwiches in.
But see, like the course was nice. It's like the West Highland Way, so it's a typical trail. But see the amount of people on the route, like even supporting and stuff. That was absolute mental. That's what I thought the best thing about it was. Like Connacht Hill, you've got folk up the top of Connacht Hill with bells and.
Oh really?
And then you've got like Jace, Mike, where was it? It was like up a bit Boggle Glen, which is up
the middle of nowhere.
Nowhere up by Tyndrum. Folk up there sitting playing like musical instruments and music for everybody going by. And there was pipers. I think there was a post saying that the pipers played for like, was it 10 hours solid?
Wow.
Yeah, pipers near the end. I think, what,
They
200?
played for 10 hours solid just for all the runners.
No.
It was just, it was absolutely mental. There was people.
They're the wee touches that make the event. It's kind of the memories of them. For me, we things like that for pipers playing when you're going past, because you're not going to get that.
And you can't argue. You can't argue at a red carpet finish line either.
Oh, that finish line looked amazing. That would be good to me.
Because I was told by a woman when I was running with her. So that was another thing as well. This event was more like. So I ran with Mike at the start, and then he needed the toilet, and then we partied. And then.
Do you know Glenn Will? Do you know Glenn Will?
No.
Is it a team?
So it was like, usually, like Michael says, something like, usually all done. Like the John Muir, it was kind of like head down, get the run done. Just whereas this felt like totally different, everybody was chatting, everybody was talking to you on the route. I felt that anyway. I probably spoke to more people on this run than I've ever spoke to in any of the other runs combined.
I think I'd said to a few people about because of the conditions that you've got for the fling. If John Muir had the conditions, it would have been a completely different race for me.
Aye.
It was purely because it was that bad that I would. I keep on saying I'm not going to do another ultra. I probably end up well, obviously, but I would love to do one in good conditions because I've never done one yet where it's been like what you've got. And I think that would change the whole
conditions. Change everything, especially at those miles. Like it's well and good doing a half marathon or some of the shorter distances in bad conditions. You can get through it, but when you pass the marathon point and think, right, I'm halfway, and if the conditions aren't good, it's very demoralising.
It must be a good lift. See, it must be a good lift. See, like having the piper and that on course, like we're saying about the John Muir. Even the Glenelgo last year, there was nobody. I actually seen nobody on the passing, and it was a bit. It's good to give you a bit of lift, so I'd maybe look into that. To be fair, to the kids going forward, see, you're saying, Jason, about like I wasn't going to do another ultra again, but if you get something like that on route, it picks you up a little bit. Like you're saying, your heat's doing with John Muir, and you're focused on.
Because what was good as well is there was folk like obviously Nicky was at Balmaha, Lee was at like Bean Glass. So when you stopped, you seen them and they gave you a wee buzz, and like Lee came out and like gave everybody a wee cuddle and got a photo with you, and you went away. Plus it was like there was obviously all the other people doing it, Rachel, Kaylee, it was Davey, trying to think who else there was. John Cassidy was doing it, so it was like quite a few folk that we know were all at the start line as well. They were in, I think they were in a different pen, but there was quite a lot of faces that doing it and managed to do it. But,
and did you two meet your time goals in terms of what you were setting for?
I don't think we really set time goals, but we were saying at the start, I think we could hit 10 hours. We're nowhere close to 10 hours. But
what was your times?
10:50 I go.
Yeah, I was 11:25.
See the bit that kills it? The bit that
toilet
so the winner was 6 hours 30, I think.
Wow.
6:30 something, which is just absolutely ludicrous. And there's a bit between get this right, is it Inversnaid and Bean Glass is the bit?
Yeah.
Which like the terrain is just
that's the best bit.
It is the most fun bit. You're not running at any speed. You're just shuffling and then climbing with your hands up rocks and then shuffling and climbing down tree trunks and climbing. And
I felt better going along that bit than I did on the flat road.
Because to think
on flat road.
To think somebody's actually ran along that at like however many minute miles they've done to get a 6 or 30. It's just that's a different level. That's absolutely.
What are we
insane.
talking? 85k in 6 hours 30. Is that what it was?
I think that's what he done. And was it 6:37? 6:37 or something like that?
That's
The female record got broken as well. Was it? What's her name?
7 hours 20, was it?
GB runner, aye. 7 hours 20. I think she took 40 minutes off the record. Because I said to you at the start, Mike, these the weather that's meant to be the day, somebody's going to break a record just because the way it is, eh? And sure enough,
Well, it was -2 when we started. It wasn't warm.
but you knew it was going to heat up, eh? So if you just go through that first couple of hours, then you knew it was going to heat up, eh? And it was going to be absolutely perfect. And it wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold. It was just like absolutely amazing, eh?
when's the next one for you two then?
June.
Aye, same.
What's that one?
Saltire.
Salter.
Ultra Scotland, 56 miles
Yeah,
along the
Saltire.
southern way. So
Saltire is
How do you
24
guys
hours,
train?
but
How do you train for stuff like that? Do you guys just keep the miles up throughout the year then? So jumping from what the Fling to
my training's been
not that far
shocking this
away.
year. My training's been shite. Like, I've had no structure just due to life and everything else. It was only 5 weeks before the Fling that I did the 100k in Perth, and then 2 weeks before that was John Muir. So I'm just going from event to event and tapering in between.
if you actually
It
look at my
works.
Strava, I'm the same. I think the longest run I done before John Muir was like 15 miles. And I think 2 weeks before it, I didn't even dare run because
I was going to say that to you, Jimmy, because I never see you doing like 30, 40k runs or anything like that on Strava or anything.
No, I didn't. I just lucky if about 3 times a week now, eh?
Well, that's all I do. I'll just do big runs up a hill. It works.
I used to be strict, but like Mike said, it's hard, eh, with kids and work and stuff going on, eh? It's hard to get out. Obviously, with the lighter nights, I'll try and get out a bit more, but for Glasgow to Edinburgh last year, I trained like mad, but this year, I've hardly done a run, eh? Like, if you actually look at my Strava, I just turn up and run, just see how it goes.
Just natural
probably have to
ability for
do-
you guys.
I have to do some training. I'm wanting to try and hit 100 miles at Saltire in June, so I'll probably need to get something in for that. But that'll be the next big target.
You boys could all do an ultra. Well, you've done it, right? You would all manage 50 miles, no bother.
See,
I
I'm
reckon
still
we could.
getting by the 20 in Edinburgh, never mind ultras.
Down that because it's a different vibe. It's usually runs at a pace, like for a pace. An ultra, you can go and do it as chilled
It's more relaxed.
as you want. Like,
I think it's difficult though when you're that conditioned to be wanting to run for a time or as fast as possible for a distance to then go, oh, I need to pull it back 30 seconds or a minute per kilometre, and then not feel like you're putting the effort in that you would usually put on a road race. That's my problem with it anyway. That's why I always blow up at the ultras, because I just go far too quick for the distance.
Yeah.
Or think how quick I should be able to run that, where it's just not going to happen over the longer distance.
Well, you
That's
saw
what
what I
you
did
two
at the
are the speedy
100k.
boys. You two are the speedy boys, and you have asked the ultra boys what their time was, and it's like the ultra boys don't talk like that. They're like, "What are you talking about, you maniac?"
I know, that's the thing. See, with me, with John Muir, like, I set out like I was just going to have a chill and enjoy it, but I just hate people passing me, even in park. I hate somebody passing me. If somebody passes me, I was like, I need to chase them down. I've just got that about me. I just I can't control it. It's
again,
horrible.
it's even worse. See if you get in at least 50 miles and stuff.
Mm.
Michael, you'll be running and you'll be like 40 miles, and there'll be some old guy like twice your weight will pass you, and he's twice your age will pass you, and you're like, what's going on? What? And you're like, how is he doing that? And you're like dying a death, and some old guy or some old wife or that will come flying past you. It's just like, hi guys, and just away they go, and you're like, just destroyed there, like humbled. It's mental.
See, funny you say that, right? It was with Jason. Remember, I was at the Perth 10k with him, me and you.
Mm.
So I'd finished, right, and I was sitting with Cara, and we were sitting with Jason coming across the finish line, and just in front of him was this guy, right? He must be an 85-year-old. He was running like Phoebe out of Friends, in front of Jason. I was like, how is that possible? Like, literally, I thought the boy was going to keel over. But just obviously, me and Jason were saying before, I think these guys just been running all their days.
Just different, eh? Just different beasts.
I think it's experience as well, though. Like, because it's not that you don't run some of these fast. Obviously, I managed to get PBs at the 100k in Perth. That was a mistake. But
where's the
you
real
can
mistake? You meant that. Kind of caught a mistake when you meant to do it.
Yeah. Okay, it wasn't a mistake. It was a stupid thing to do.
Yes,
like,
there we go.
Yes, but
PB over
didn't die,
Wolverine.
so fuck it. It was fine. I got PBs, but that's humbling, as you say. When you see the older people going past you, when you're doing 42 laps around North Inch Park, and you see these people go past you from like lap 7, that's humbling.
That's so true.
As long as there's not a photographer, it's fine. Do you know what I mean? It's when there's a photographer there, you need to put the boot down and get away from certain folk. Or it's like when Davey finished Manchester and there was a guy in front of him with a big pair of scissors. You seen that picture?
No.
Big massive guy dressed as a pair of scissors.
I've seen him a couple, he's been a couple of races so far. I've seen the last few weeks. Like I think he's done London as well. I'm sure I've seen the picture of the scissors.
That was another way about the Fling. There was photographers everywhere, eh? Literally everywhere they were, like every
Well, good luck trying to find the pictures on the Facebook group. It's carnage.
Trying to find them was an absolute hassle, but there was photographers everywhere, so it was quite good. Mr. Phillips.
Aye.
was there.
Buy that man a coffee.
Yep.
And he's been at every event that I've done this year, bar one.
A good lad.
That takes good for you.
But you need to generally get a goal, just like Mike said, just for the red carpet at the end.
Aye.
That isn't even the race. You've already clicked your kind of tag at that point, so that's your final time. And then you get to go and run like, I don't know, whatever it is, 50, 60 metres on a red carpet, just fully people cheering and bells and flags. And
the barriers are close enough as well. If you put your arms out, you can high five people on both sides the whole way down.
It's mental.
I'm not climbing hills in a race for anybody. Not a chance. Not for a poster anyway.
Just one hill.
Had no chance.
It wasn't a poster, it was a wooden medal. What about a rope?
On a rope. Got a bottle of Prosecco.
Smelled like Creusot as well.
You got a bottle of Prosecco?
Yeah.
Everybody did.
Yeah.
I think I'm
And a beer.
You've still got it.
That means I get the empty bottle.
Let's go, lads.
Oh, a Fling bottle.
Ding, ding, indeed.
Fling Prosecco, there you go.
Back open.
Well done, guys. So all good, but the medal never scored very highly. Is that what we're saying?
Ultras and wooden medals. Sort it out.
Wooden medals in general need emptied. They need to be stopped.
Nothing will beat the GB Ultras medals. They're some proper weighty medal.
These boys will see in October.
But I can't wait to get that one. Like, I'll be the last ultra. Like, we'll stick to
Needs to be gold though. Not maybe you'll not bother. You'll be up there anyway. But Jason, it needs to be gold.
Cheers, mate.
Top
That's worse than him getting clipped up saying I was slow. Come on.
Needs to be gold, top 100.
By the way, he never worded it any better than he said he did. That's exactly how he said it to me.
Did he say it in a posher accent?
Aye.
Beg your pardon?
Mike, you got a gold one?
Yeah.
Aye, I'm not silver. That's getting pinned. You have to be gold. No disrespect to anybody else who's got silver. It'll be the first and last time that I'll be doing that. So you want the gold medal.
I said that. I didn't want the silver one. I want the gold.
100%. Did you see the trophy for the Newhaven Lighthouse 10K? Actual wee lighthouse trophy you get.
Aye.
Was it? That would be
I think that was just for the winner though, Bob. But like the medals.
The medal was a wee. Might have been a wooden one as well, but the actual winner got a wee lighthouse trophy.
Is that the blast running?
That was a blast running one. So it starts down by the water at Newhaven, heads up to towards Cannon Mills, which I believe that's a bit of an uphill.
Aye.
and then you're looping round, and then you've got a fast finish on the way back down at the lighthouse. I don't know. I had in my head that you'd done that before, Jace. I don't know if you've done that one.
Never done that one before, mate. I would have wanted to do it this year, but childcare obviously put that to bed. But I think you go through the three of the parks that are kind of up towards Cannon Mills, so it would be a nice route. It's not one I've done, but going from what the route I've seen on Strava and stuff like that, it does look like it would be a brilliant wee race to do.
Wow, it's good.
Got my previous runs in the blast run, and they're pretty good routes, so like they used on 20 along the 4th, and also we done quite decent.
Because they've got for that one there, I seen like Karen, Keys, Jim Boyle. Don't know if you guys picked up anyone else that had done the 10k.
Big Alan for Team Alexis Rose. He done it as well. He ties in with Cat a lot, I think, and gets entries for the guys in the team for volunteering roles and stuff like that as well. So I think he's quite at the forefront of Cat now in terms of the races that they're doing. I don't know even how many he's done this month. So this year so far. I think he's done about 15 races. So he's getting them in.
Because Blast Run, they've got their release, the Sundowner 5k series. So it's I don't know if there's like 3 or 4 5k races. The first one,
tea time or something, aren't they, on the Wednesdays?
Wednesday, 15th of May, I've got one. Then obviously they do the Meadows 5k. That's every month.
I've never done one. You've done them before, haven't you?
I've done a few. I like going through there. If I'm in the mindset for going for a fast one, I prefer that park one, to be honest, even though it's a bit of a travel for me.
Do they close? See,
it's
do they close the footpaths to the public, or the public still wandering about?
I was 20 minutes, 10 seconds, and I'm sure it was a Just Eat guy cost me my 10 seconds. They almost run me over on his bike, the dirty person that is. I would have got it 10 seconds, but it's still open, but mostly people are decent. They know it's on, and they can see people are running, and you've got, because you wear a number and stuff like that, so it's pretty obvious there's a race on.
It's nice at this time of the year as well. I think she called the last one the Cherry Blossom 5k because of the blossoms on the trees, and it's a lovely place, to be fair. The Meadows, I've never been before.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel flat when you're running it. There's a few wee inclines on it. Well, it's not really, but when you're running hard, you know, even the slightest incline feels like a mountain. It's good. Then obviously we have the Sunset Run Festival. That's in July.
I'm doing that. I'm doing the marathon.
So I think is that a 6 or 7k half marathon, full marathon. There's a relay, and there's also a 6-hour ultra on the go as well.
Whereabouts is that one?
That's at Cramond, where basically Edinburgh Park Run is, or the race that I done on Friday night. It's the same place. So it's just I think it's a 6k, like Bob said, and it's flat. It's as flat you could never get anything to be. And if it's a nice night with no wind, then you're in for a good one. It can be a bit windy down there, obviously, because it is beside the water on the coast. So, but now I'm looking forward to that marathon, because if all goes to plan and conditions are well, then you should be looking for a fast time there.
Definitely, great event. It's quite well supported as well. People pitch up tents and deck chairs and all that, and they're all it's good, especially if it's night.
They've got pizza tents and everything like that, beer tents and stuff and everything. So if you're even going down just to support for the night, then you can go down and have a good wee night. There was stuff there for the kids in that last year, if I remember rightly, like a couple of stalls and things. I took Georgie down. But I'll be looking forward to it. If it's a nice night, it'll be good fun.
Absolutely. I think of other notable events that we've had this weekend. We had the Belfast Marathon, which is one I've eyed up in the past, but I think it's got a few humps and bumps in it, so I've always kind of stayed away from it. I've seen Fiona, she runs, she bakes, she done it. Seemed to have a good time. She cramped up quite late on in the race, but it's one definitely need to look at. I love Belfast, but I've never been running out there, to be fair.
I know
to run out there.
Craig Lawton from Newton, he done it as well. I've not done a wee look on Strava or anything yet to see. I just seen the Mega Monday picture earlier on that he put up.
You must bump into him walking about Newton, would you know?
I do, all the time. We go for a
Your
pint.
local club.
Aye, my local club. We go for a pint all the time. I was actually going to wear my new Newton jacket today, by the way, but I thought it would be overkill.
Is that another freebie?
No, it was not. It was £45 and I got it for free.
Paid £45 for postage and packaging.
Aye, £45 post and packaging. Aye. You get it for free.
All joking aside, that is a very nice jacket.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
I was going to wear it, honestly, but after missing last night's recording, I couldn't come on wear my dirty jacket and just get absolutely trolled. So
I'm just glad you're awake, mate.
That's the main thing.
Since you are awake, do you fancy talking us through the kind of breezy night you had at the 5K champs?
The 5K champs. So if anyone doesn't know what the 5K champs are, 5K race, obviously, down at Cramond, which is where Edinburgh Park Run takes place, is a slightly different route to the Edinburgh Park Run, and one that I found to be much better than the Park Run route, to be honest. There was 514 people racing, and the winner was 14:17. And just to put it in context, David Wright of Run Right on Instagram, he ran a 15:14 and only finished in 44th place.
That's madness.
It's mental. I managed to get a wee PB, got a wee sub 19, 18:58, and I finished for that was 340th out of 500.
You're giving me a chance.
So, and I've got this for anybody watching on YouTube. I've got a nice wee wooden medal that I'm proudly wearing today. So there we go. But no, it was a great wee night. Conditions were superb. I had a wee bit of tailwind for 3K back when you come back off the turn into the straight. So managed to kind of keep my legs moving fairly well at that point. And then the last kilometre, you do a sharp turn back. And I lost maybe 5 or 6 seconds on that kilometre. That was tough. It was a bit of a struggle at the end, but managed to get it done. You also had Les Graham was doing it. Les is obviously coming back from Boston, where she had a bit of an injury towards the end. In Boston, she ran 20:40, so she was over the moon with that. Our split for nice and consistent. I think that's what we should kind of set out to go and do, just be nice and consistent. Obviously, I mentioned David and then Jack Malloy, who runs for Motherwell. Jack was there as well. And there was a couple of mine and Abbey's pals, Gordon Pride and Darren Pride, both doing it as well. I think Gordon got a 5-second PB, 17:20 or something, and Darren was 15:40 or something. That is rapid. But it was a great wee night, as I said. The conditions were amazing, and then we went and got pizza on that after it, so it was good.
The big question is the trainers. Do you find they are faster than? Obviously, you've got your PB in them, but that could be down to like whatever how you're feeling. Do you think the Adios are better than the Nikes?
In terms of what Nikes?
What you know got like the?
If you're talking about Vaporflies in particular, then they're better than the Pro Frees are better than the Vaporflies. The Vaporflies are probably less stable than the Pro Frees, I think. So when your form's going towards the end of it, when you're tired, the Pro Frees will keep you, probably, for me anyway, they'll keep me ticking over better. And I also think the recovery on your legs is better with the Pro Frees than the Vaporflies. The Vaporfly Frees aren't anything compared to the Vaporfly 2s. The 2s are superb. But I don't know about the Alphas. I've not got my hands on a pair of the Alpha Frees yet, because I just brought the Pro Frees, obviously. So
all the big kind of road running records were all broken Adios, weren't they?
Aye.
That's what started smashing all the records, and then Nike come out, but there wasn't many of them breaking records in the Nike. It all seems to be all the Adios, and then this new kind of where the once pair of them Adios that everybody's kind of wearing. It's been smashing everything.
I mean, I've wore Vaporflies for my half marathon PB, and they're a brilliant shoe. Don't get me wrong, but I just think if I had to, pick the one shoe that was going to be doing all race events effectively, then it would be the Pro Freeze at the moment.
But you're fit just now. If you wore Vaporflies on that race, you'd have still raced really well.
Oh no, I've no doubt about that. But taking into the case of the recovery aspect of it as well, the day after, in terms of your legs, I think that plays into it massively for me anyway. I can tell the difference if when I pair of super shoes, even a training run, I can tell the difference massively next game day. On keeping my legs fresh. But I could talk about shoes all day though. So
see, talking about the alphas, Bob, have you got the Alpha 3s?
No.
See, to be
Too
honest,
green
right,
for me.
I wore them in Manchester, and it's still early days. I'm not the biggest fan of them, to be honest. Honestly, see if you could give me brand new 1s, 2s, or 3s, I'd go back to the 1s every time.
It's the one
I think a lot of people do say that, and I've seen a lot of people saying that the 3s that they need about 100 miles to kind of properly break them in, and they get better and better. But that's just from videos I've seen on YouTube. No anybody personally that I've spoke to.
Everybody had them on in Manchester, honestly, but the jury still look with me like I need to get used to them for Edinburgh. But
the first alphas are the best.
I agree with you. I've still got my ones in there. I've put so much mileage in them.
Yes.
Different.
400 miles in these.
Aye. I think they're the best of the three of them.
Bob showing off his Alpha Flies for anybody that's listening without video, by the way.
Boxes and boxes of shoes. But I've got to see those orange ones. I just use them for training now because I can't race in them. I've had a few bad races in them. But the blue one's exactly the same shoe. And I did much better. Exactly
blues well.
See that race you were at, Jace? I'm assuming that there, well, obviously being championship and whatever, I'm assuming there wasn't many people there for like funsies. I take it was all just club runners.
I had a look at the results, and it would have been all club runners. I think you need to be a member of Scottish Athletics to actually get into the race. I might be wrong on that, but I'm fairly certain that everybody was.
No, because I was there. I was signed up for it.
But you know, maybe Scottish Athletics. Oh well, then maybe I'm wrong then. But generally, everybody had a club vest on, mate. Aye, and I think the people towards the back end of the race were still 25 minutes, so there's still a fairly quick park run. No, fairly quick 5k. And I think there were a couple of guys towards the back that were maybe a wee bit longer than that. I think once the boy that was last was 47 minutes or something. So I think he's just obviously been out for the event, which is obviously fine. But no, it was predominantly club runners. But it was good the way they had it set up. I've never had the setup like this for like a 5k. They had like pens, like they were soft pens. They weren't gated off or anything like that. But just had a sub 16 stick, a sub 17, a sub 18, a sub 19. So I put myself in the sub 19 one, bang in the middle, and really just kind of tried to memorise 4 or 5 people that were in my pen to start with, to keep a wee visual check constantly, make sure I was round about them, just to make sure I was within. I wasn't going off too hot or anything like that. I did go out not far too hot because it worked. But my first kilometre was 3:38, but that was because obviously running with the 500 people, and I was bang in the middle basically. So you've got probably less perception of your actual speed you're going to travel on, because it feels that easy because you're within the group. So again, it was honestly a brilliant race. I'll do it again next year, 100%. I think to me, it might be one of these races you can look at as your marker each year to see like where you've come and what you've done, because the crowd that you're running with will automatically make you run faster, I think, anyway. So 100%, I would recommend it to anybody as well, to be honest.
It was the same organisers that did the 50 and the 100 in March as well.
Aye.
So that you boys at that 50k would do some damage.
I think I would do that one that I chummed you to. I think I would do that next year, actually. That would probably be, in terms of I'm talking ultras, I didn't want to be running up hills or anything like that. But I would do something like that, Mike, I think, definitely.
So what's your target now in terms of that 5k time? Now you've got sub 19. You got designs on the 18 minute? 18:30.
I don't care. I just think everybody's got a limit as such, and I can't see me running much faster than that anytime soon. Even my PB was 19:11. That was for a year. It was 1911. I don't think 5K is a distance that I'm going to be able to take much more off. To be honest, it's no, unless I train for it. See if I put a block in for a 5K, an 8-week 10.
You need to stop signing up to every event that comes along to do
This
that.
is true. This is 100% true. But that's the way that we live. So
it's very rare that Jace is sensible, but you were sensible this weekend by not going down to Newcastle.
Thank you. And
very impressed.
My
I'm so sensible you actually fell asleep last night and never turned up for the podcast.
Tell you what, imagine
we won't mention that much.
Imagine I'd actually went down. I would have been even more knackered. But I'm glad my hamstring is feeling a lot better from giving it a bit of rest. So it's good. Even Saturday, I actually behaved on Saturday at the press play run only on 15K. So, but that was because it was getting a bit tight and sore. So I was sensible there as well. So I'm learning.
Well, from what I've heard, I don't think you missed too much in that Newcastle race. I know we had a joke in the group chat beforehand a few months ago, didn't we, with the route? You were trying to sell us the route so we all go down, and it was a bit loopy and a bit.
Aye.
It wasn't inspiring us. You were on your own for that one, I think. He was feeling the same. It wasn't really one for heading down for.
Is that the one that had like 4 switchbacks in it?
Aye. No, thank you. I've got visions of just a cone out. You need to run around the cone and.
Seems to be a lot of events down in Newcastle. They all seem to be in the same place. Like I see the same pictures of the same things in every event down there.
I heard there was
it was Run Through, wasn't it? Run Through that organised it.
Yeah, it was.
They're generally really good at setting up their events. It's, but I suppose the route's the route. You can't do if you're limited to what you've got. That's that. I think Natalie and Thomas went down. I think Natalie was on pacing duties. Was she doing the 10K? Was that 10K?
Yeah, Natalie done 10K pacer. She was doing 60-minute pacing. I think she came in at 59.40 or 59.50. So she's done her job well. And I think Thomas said he went off a bit too hot and paid the price a bit later on. So I think he came in about 2 hours for his half. But I think he was going for 2 hours anyway. He was just going to sit with the pacer and try and kick. But I think he went off maybe 3 or 4 minutes too early. Aye, so that was nice. And Big Al, big personal best as well. He was doing there. I think he was doing a bit of work with Run Through though. So Al got a wee PB. I'm just looking at Strava now. 2 hour 33 for Al. So
see him swanning about on Instagram.
So he says he's on cloud 9. 60-minute PB, by the way. So game is due. Well done. Well done.
That's fair play. That's good shit.
Good, man. Good progress. Keep it up, Mal. Keep it up. So that was Sunday, but you guys were doing a press play and run. Not a retreat, a meetup over on the east side of the country.
A great turnout as well, by the way. But first of all, I think there was 3 the Newton girls, Charlotte, Fiona, Natasha, and Big Grant and myself. We all went to the Portobello putt run. We done that first, so I didn't even realise they were all doing that. So we met up at the putt run. We done the putt run. There was a good wee turnout there. Jace, you were there as well.
I didn't run. I just came down.
I came and watched a bit of support, so it was good. That was the first time I've done Portobello. It was not the best course, but it was a good putt run. So we all battered that, and then went over a wee hop, skip, and jump over to Portobello where we met Emily Jackson, and that credit to her and Jason for what done on the day. It was a great turnout. What was Jason, about 23, 24 bodies, Jason?
23, aye.
Yeah, so. Sorry?
No, just block something, mate. Ignore me. Just keep talking.
Aye, so there was 23, 24. I was all the way up at the promenade at Portobello. I don't know how you done, Jason. It was about 5 or 6 different groups to set off.
I think 3 or 4, maybe. I think it ended up kind of people just bunched together and done it for there. You kind of set off first, didn't you? And then it was kind of Stevie and Davey towards the back. In the middle, so it was. I think we managed that well.
Tell what highlights. So, see, looking at Saturday, right? See myself. you had people from Fife, the Borders, Glasgow, and Edinburgh all come together for a social run. It shows you how big it's getting now, like running. So, but it was a really good day. I really enjoyed it.
It's also good to, I like the kind of things because I've been on a couple with most of that kind of Wild Hearts running because they do a lot of trail running.
Yeah.
And it's the one kind of chance that I think Bob, you spoke about it on like Steve's podcast, like where you may be a bit nervous to go and like can go places or see folk, but when you go to these things, it's like it's a good opportunity for you to like speak to folk and kind of network and just about anything. Just as you're jogging along, you chat to them, and then you get to kind of like you know them. You've maybe added them on Instagram or have added you, but you've never met them. You just have a wee chat along the way, and then that's what I think they're really good for. This kind of getting people to kind of meet each other. And
that's I run about with Steve McKenna, 100 kilo to 100 miles or 100 kilometers, I think it is. And I've been speaking to Steve on Instagram for I don't care a few months now, and that was the first time I met him on Saturday. We ran a wee bit together. One of my mates, Dale, his wife is running the marathon, so with her for a wee bit as well. It was good to get a wee chat with her.
Yeah, Beth, yeah.
So
I think we're all planning to try to take some of the Edinburgh Marathon route in, but like I was saying, me, Calvin, and Dara, we set off first and we got lost. That was 3 guys that won the marathon last year and all got lost. We run down the East Coast. Honestly, it was terrible.
It's gone out and back, Abby.
Mate, he went down the coastal road at the lagoons at Musselburgh, despite knowing, because we've ran that route a few times training. I think he's ended up just going down there just by habit.
Do you know what it is? I think because me, Dara, and Calvin were just having a chat and we just got lost. We just got lost in the moment. And we just, again, it could have been that, Jason, but yeah, it was a bit of red face afterwards when at the slow, the people that were going a bit slower than us. Not as spicy, should we say.
Maybe you shouldn't do an ultra up a mountain.
The less spicier,
Get lost.
the less spicier runners actually beat us to Kirkensey, so that was a bit of red face when we got there. But it was a really good day. Really enjoyed it. Also, on the way back to the run, myself and Calvin bumped into Emily, and we just took the rest of the course we had. It was good. We enjoyed it. Really good laugh.
Maybe this is a good time for you to clarify what your name actually is.
Oh well, that's it. I think in the introduction Bob covered that, but yeah, it's definitely not Abby. But as Carl has seen to call about 6 times on the course, Emily had to correct him. He's like, "Oh, sorry about that, Abby."
to be fair, when I first met Jace at the Villa Forest 15, we were talking, I think you'd just done the race, and I was like, your mate Abby's a speedster, and you were like, oh, did he call him that?
It's when he's running over the finish lines and they've got like an MC and they're like, oh, here comes Abby. And you can just tell after he's actually maybe PB, but he's pissed off at that.
I think I'm getting used to it now though. But going back towards Portobello, Jason, I'll let you cover because when we all go back, we had a wee bit of chat afterwards, and then there was a few years Jason did a bit of dip, was there not?
It was actually really good. It was really nice that everybody kind of waited on everybody coming back, I think, as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to maybe some of these things sometimes, not with press play, but just sometimes you'd have these things that you go back and people just start getting pizza because we'd organised the discount with Severino's, but everybody waited on everybody until everybody was back and finished. Then we seen who was going for a wee jump in the sea, and I think maybe 8 us or something. Went in the sea, jumped in, got a nice wee dip, sorted the legs out. We're in there for 5 or 6 minutes, and then we got pizza and mozzarella dippers and chips and everything, and then we all just sat at a couple of benches and maybe had a chat for maybe about an hour.
That was a really good day. Really enjoyed it.
Just had a good weather with everybody, and then we got up the road. I think that was about 9 o'clock. We met everybody, and then we left at 2:30. So it was a full day kind of thing, but it was really good. And I think we'll probably touch on it more with Emily when she's on eventually. But I think there's early chat about the end of July having a wee event. You'll go on the beach with Emily, and then we maybe 10k or something, and some pizza and things afterwards. So we'll cover that more when we have a guaranteed definitive date.
I was going to ask, see, with regards to that whole thing, predominantly you, Jace, and Emily, does that take a lot of your time to organise that? Because obviously people just turn up, you just run, and you just think, oh, I've just turned up. and I've just ran. But obviously behind the scenes, there's obviously a lot of.
I think because in the instance there, because it's like it's just on a public space, it's a beach, it's and it's in the routes to route. That doesn't take much time other than making your posts kind of try to get it visible to people. But I've kept a background organising football teams for years and having to text people, book pitches, stuff like that. So to me, it's no that big a thing.
Mhm.
If you start doing, like Ryan done the routine, that would be an effort. You're having to communicate, you're having to organise people, you're having to organise the venues and things like that. Get money for people for tickets and things. Then that would be difficult. But something like Saturday, where you've already got a good model in place for what Ryan's doing in Glasgow anyway, then it does kind of just transfer over, because all the people are doing the same thing and they know how it works. But it's worth anything that I've done in the last couple of weeks to organise that. It was worth what I got out on Saturday anyway, in terms of meeting a few new people that I hadn't met, getting a wee run in with people and a wee dip in the sea, because I like a wee dip in the sea. But it's hard to get people to come down and chum you down to it, and it's difficult at times to go in by yourself because it's like you're in for 5 minutes and you went all the way down there for that. But 100%, I had a great wee day, and going by everybody else, they had a good day as well. Chances
are as well, because those people have been to that, if there's another one, they'll maybe say to a couple of their pals. Did you see what happened with Ryan when he's done his Glasgow runs? It was like a wee group, and then they said to their pals, and then all of a sudden it just like, that's how it kind of
goes. That's the thing. You had like, Jason, what's Alex's run club?
This girl runs club.
So Alex, she came up to the Borders and she was in on Saturday. She went, next time I come up, she'll bring a couple of girls. And then you had the wee Emily, over at United Miles over in Fife. Same kind of thing. She was like, next time you have something last week, I'm going to bring me the group over. So it'd be brilliant going forward. Like, we definitely have to do it again.
And it'll work both ways, because those clubs as well, if they ever have one, and like, oh, we're doing this, do you fancy anybody coming down, or does anybody fancy coming
That's it.
over?
I think the thing that me and Abby find in Edinburgh, especially, like, there's no much an appetite for the social runs. We've done the Brewdog Run Club and we were struggling to get maybe 5-6 people some weeks, whereas through in the West, then it just does seem to be much more a thing for people to run together and enjoy it. So I was also grateful everybody coming through, like 100%. As Abby said, the amount of people that came from different sides, from Greece, Glasgow, whatever. It was brilliant, and I did have a really good day.
No, what kind of folk are
here, guys? The Edinburgh runner said West is best.
See, touch on Saturday, there was a young laddie, I think his name was Jason. See, young laddie Jay. He came to United Miles with Emily. He had the furthest he'd ever run in his life was 10k last week, and he buttered at half marathon. That just shows you what, when you're running with these kind of people, having a chat, you forget kind of what distance you're doing. And it was brilliant. The wee laddie was chuffed when he came back. Wasn't for him.
No, I like seeing that.
Jason, is there not a big club in Edinburgh that social one, that E3 milers, EH3 milers?
EH3, sorry, aye. You've got EH3 who are very well organised and established, aye. So, and they have runs, sorry, on the majority of the nights of the week, I think. So it's difficult for anybody starting to kind of get that, because the numbers that EH3 milers get is fairly decent. Like, you're talking maybe 40, 50 times in the Wednesday runs and the Sunday runs. So it's no of them, especially. I don't think out in mine and Navy's kind of friendship group out with Instagram and running, I don't think anybody really runs to an extent either. So that's why we kind of probably do gravitate towards the west side more so anyway, for the probably for our personalities in terms of the people we want to be involved in run with. I think we're more suited to Newton, and I've had a conversation with a few people about this in terms of the afters of a race. Bobby, you'll ken yourself, 20 on the 4th before it. If I wasn't in Newton, that would have been a different experience for me, that whole race, because of the before bit, meeting up everybody, meeting up with you and Giz and stuff like that before it as well. It's not something I would see us being able to have in Edinburgh. Wait, if you joined any of the actual running clubs here?
Definitely
That's the
make
thing. I'm not.
sense.
Yeah, I joined. I was in. I'm not going to name them, but I was in a running club in Edinburgh before for a good few weeks, and you finished your run, and nobody spoke to you. There was no chat whatsoever. It was the most awkward I've ever felt in my life. So I think Jason's saying that's why we can gravitate to the guys through the West, because we're on the same kind of wavelength.
We'll might get a chance to travel through if you guys like a bit of tourism and parkrun tourism.
Me and Jason have mentioned this, Jason. I think we're going to go through on a Monday night.
We're going to come through on a Monday or Tuesday night and the training sessions we Newhaven. But in terms of parkrun tourism, definitely want to get that organised, Bob. So what have we got coming up?
Well, I know recently they had Troon. Ryan and Alison had them all organised, about 20 people. All went through with I was going to say the yellow, but it's mostly pink t-shirts you see with that crowd just now. Everyone's got the pink on. I can't see
I've not got one yet.
There's no sticking.
I need to get one.
Well, they're hard commodity to get.
I think this will do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Because I'll be honest, in terms of parkrun, I'm not a massive parkrun guy. I think mostly out of guilt because I can't really commit to the
Guys, I'm back in 2
volunteering
minutes.
time.
Just 2 seconds.
No worries. So I kind of feel guilty if I can't commit to like an hour or whatever to hang about for whether it's tail walking or marshalling and that kind of thing. So I kind of feel guilty if I'm going every week. So I just kind of dip in and out sometimes. I know, Jace, you like a good park run.
I like a wee parkrun, mate. Aye.
I've
So
never,
Jimmy and Mike, I don't know if you guys do much of the park runs.
never done a park run ever. I've got one about a mile down the road. Literally starts a mile, the calendar park run, and just never done it. I usually run and time it for them running when I'm out doing my other run, just to kind of run beside them and just run a bit. But
There are actually a few around this area, even though it's also further out, up north of Dundee. But just with work and having my son and everything, just time-wise doesn't really work. So I've done a few.
Apologies, guys.
I think for me, parkrun, going back to what I was saying about the Scottish 5K Champs being like a measurement every year, your progress on it. When I first started running, that was how I got into the parkrun, and I think just the way that I'm wired, it's in terms of seeing the progress with the numbers, and that was an easy chance to go every second weekend and see, like, this is where I am, and keep on going for there. It also lets you meet new people, and I think again the aspect of running in a group, because as much as you're not in an actual group yourself, you're running with people in not a race. It's a run, but I treat it as a race, obviously, because that's who I am. But I would say to anybody that's trying to get into, want to start running, I would always say them to go to parkrun. I think the quicker you go to one, I think sometimes people can build it up and go, I'm not fast enough, or I'm not a good enough runner to go to parkrun, where that's obviously not the case. Parkrun is for everybody, as much as they say it is. I think I'm going to try and get to one of the press play, or two, maybe the press play tourism. They're doing one on my birthday in August, so I'll definitely be at that one, and I can't remember where the next one is, but
We've got one there. Where are we? 25th of May
Greenock.
in Greenock, which would be quite a good one for an EMF shakeout run.
So I may go for that.
Yes, which would tie us up nicely to our next episode if we don't get cancelled on this one.
Should look about an offer seat, Jason. Gonna be good to people through there.
I'm not going to run around after seat, mate.
I think the Falkirk one's meant to be quite tough.
And it's got a Heartbreak Hill.
Heartbreak Hill's in it, aye, and it's basically
Aye.
you run up a hill, then you obviously get to run down it, but then you run back up a big steep hill as well. Heartbreak Hill.
Nice to do that with the Wade in the buggy.
It's meant to be. I've never done it. It's meant to be quite a challenging one.
I think tourism on the 25th would be good, especially for us trying to do, well, for me anyway, in Edinburgh, try to do a wee shake it, because Edinburgh will be rammed with the 5K and the 10K being on the Saturday morning. Although I did go down there and watch them last year, it was good just to get kind of get into the swing of it and enjoy the environment.
So, the plan for the next episode, we're going for the 19th of May for an EMF preview.
19th of May with a special guest, our first special guest.
Yes, Emily Jackson is going to come on and chat the ears off us.
I'm looking forward to that.
Extended episode.
I will be.
great.
Guaranteed.
So Saturday was the first time I met Emily. She's crazy in person. What a laugh, but she is.
Seems like that.
bonkers. Sorry?
It seems like that, just non-stop. Just
No, see, I didn't get that for her. See, on social media, I thought she was going to be this wee chill thing. She is bonkers. But it's one thing I'll say about her. The amount of people that recognised her in Edinburgh on Saturday was... Many people recognised her that became me and Jason. And we're not happy Edinburgh. And took my limelight.
it's 'cause you
It'll
were
be good to have her on.
So we're going to talk about all things Edinburgh half, Edinburgh full marathon. We'll talk about our experiences of running it before. We'll talk about maybe what our plans are for running it this year and what we think of the course and how it's run.
Gears all your predicted times.
I was going to say, are we putting our predicted times out there? Are we making them? Are we making
We've
them
got to do predicted times.
We're here for good times, not good times, guys.
Get the times up.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen you say.
I think we have to be realistic and all say what times we think we want to go for. Just put it out there. That's it. It's not going to cause any harm.
Well, you got a day maybe run slow, maybe 320 or something.
See, to be honest with you, right? Maybe keep it for them, but I think I could run comfortably 320.
Well, the fact you've run a 258, I would hope so.
But now that I know I'm in the right pen, it's getting closer to it. Obviously, the feet are getting itchy. I'm not going to lie, but just we'll
Mate, there's
see.
no chance in hell that you're going to start running and you're going to see somebody that's running at your pace that you think is capable of and go, right, I'll just run 444s with Jace. There's no chance. You'll be up there. Just go
I'd
for
happily
it.
do that, though. That's the thing. I'd happily do that, though. I'm going to see my body shields over the next couple of days. Also, I'm not
We've heard all this before. You said exactly the same thing at Manchester, then you fucking went.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I blew up, mate.
Somebody overtook him and that was something in rage.
Oh, but I've also come over a chest infection and things like that. It's not something. So we'll see how it goes over the next week. If I feel like I can do it, I'm obviously going to do it. I want to win every race. I've done a partner on Saturday, came fifth, and I was gutted that I came fifth. I mean, fuming. Every race.
Are you planning on a sunbed ban the week or 2 weeks before EMF? Or just stand up?
I got a 60-minute block booking yesterday, so that should take me till maybe got a fortnight of that.
Just make sure we're using stand-ups. Then I want to repeat.
Stand-ups only. That was embarrassing, eh? That's shocking.
Can we get a bit of context on that for anybody who doesn't know what we're actually speaking about? Because we didn't want in jokes.
But what happened?
What happened prior to Manchester?
So I went for a wee 9-minute holiday. Chose to go for a wee lie-down one instead of a stand-up one. And as I was closing the lid door of the sunbed, something popped in my ribs. So yeah.
What happened after that?
He can walk in a 306 marathon, but he can't.
There was a little bit of scream, a little bit of noise, but yeah.
You're holding back.
What's that?
You're holding back.
Not at all. So we'll see. Listen, I'm looking forward to obviously a several home marathon. So I think it'll be good.
Yeah,
good to finish for the boys at the end and gap. Yeah.
We need times and targets for the next one.
For the next one.
Sorry.
We need
targets. Aye, definitely.
Zone 2 is the only target we need now.
No spicy runs.
What's your favourite spice?
Cumin.
For me? Cumin.
Mine's is paprika.
Well, I think
So what's about Oh, sorry.
This spicy chat, I think, is taking us towards the end of this. I think we're
Right, so,
feeling
thank you
off
very
as
much.
we're going to the space cabinet, guys. So I would like to thank Jimmy, Abby, Mike, and Jace for joining me, and also the 3 people that will be listening to this. Thanks for that. If you have enjoyed it, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and you will see us again on the 19th of May for our EMF preview show.